The Columbia Lions men's basketball program has a new leader, and he is a man who is familiar with this program. That is for sure. It is Kevin Hovde, who is named the head coach of the Lions. Now, right now, Kevin, I know that you're still on staff being with Coach Golden and the Florida Gators, who are in the Sweet 16 taking on Maryland. So you got some dancing going on, but you also have a lot of happiness, I know, coming to New York. First off, congratulations, Kevin, and so glad to see that you're taking this job at Columbia. What does this moment in time mean for you?
Well, thank you very much. It's been a whirlwind, obviously, with just the excitement of getting this job, which is really a dream job for me, along with having to continue to do, my job with Florida, and finish this thing out the right way with these guys. So it's been a whirlwind, but it's been awesome. Obviously, all good things, and just feel very fortunate to be in this position and thankful for the opportunity at Columbia.
When this job became available, what was your thought process? And as the process went on to eventually get you this opportunity, how would you describe that feeling when you were offered this job?
Well, yeah, so obviously it's a place I'm really familiar with. So I spent 5 years there as an assistant coach from 2011 to 2016 with Kyle Smith. And I really just fell in love with the place. I thought we built a really good program there. I actually lived right below campus on 109th Street. So kind of lived in the neighborhood and just loved every part of it. And then there's a family connection too, because I actually met my wife there and she went to Columbia, graduated in 2009. So, I just, from my time working there and then obviously with her relationships and loving the place, it's just been a place that's been near and dear to our hearts. And I've been away from it for 9 years, but just still have always felt really connected to it. Probably again because of my wife's experience there. And so when the job came open, obviously I expressed was really interested in it, and really this process was great. It was which again made me even more excited about it because when the athletic director Peter Pilling reached out to me and we started talking, we went through a pretty good process and there were some steps there to kind of make sure that my vision and my plan was aligned with him and what's going on there. And he felt really comfortable with it. And again, I feel like it's just a perfect fit.
What makes it a perfect fit for you beyond the personal connections in terms of when you look at what the potential is of this program?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think the main thing to me is I think it's a place where you can really build a program. I think to be successful at Columbia in the Ivy League, I think you're going to have great continuity. The recruiting part of it is going to be really heavily leaning towards high school players and growing with them and developing them and having a 4 year experience. And there will be some transfers, but nowhere near what it is, across the rest of college basketball. So that is something that honestly is really exciting to me, because I love the process of building a program and player development, trying to get guys better and, just having a group and growing a group to try to be the best we can be and kind of every part of that process. So I think that's the main thing that makes me so excited about this opportunity. And I feel really confident that we can grow and become one of the best programs in the Ivy League. That's how I feel. That's the goal. That's my vision. I want to be the best program in the league, and it doesn't happen overnight, but I think we can do it there. It's an amazing place and a place that really cares about basketball. So again, really excited.
And a place that cares about basketball, that was seen when you were on staff with the 25-10 team that won the collegeinsider.com tournament. And just what a moment that was in New York City and around Columbia that got a lot of local press. And
Right.
Kevin, obviously, you head to San Francisco from there. But when you think about that and kind of that picture in time when you experienced what was possible with Coach Smith and what he built there. I thought it was one of the best coaching jobs in America. And now look at what Coach Smith has done. You've been a rich part of that journey.
Right.
But how much does that make you say, like, let's get more of those moments at Columbia in a league, Kevin, that's produced them, whether it be Princeton a couple of years ago in the Sweet 16 or Yale beating Auburn in the 2024 NCAA tournament.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that shows that it can be done, and that's the most important thing. And I think for our time at Columbia, when I was there with Coach Smith, I think one of the biggest keys for us was that we really were able to attract and recruit student athletes with number one, great attitudes, guys that worked really hard, but most importantly, guys that had tremendous pride in being Columbia Lions. And so that's what we're going to try to capture again in recruiting. And I think there's some guys in the program now that have those attributes as well. And that's another thing that makes me so excited about it is the chance to work with this group. And I believe we can be pretty good next year. And I think the key is you got to get old in the league. You got to get your guys developed. But the teams that really have success and win are the guys that are playing, juniors and seniors and guys that have been in their programs. And that's what we had when I was an assistant there. And that's what we're going to have to do again.
You played for Chris Mooney at Richmond. You also spent some time on his staff a few years back. I think Coach Mooney's one of the best guys in the profession, just an all-around class act. What'd you learn from him that you apply every day?
Yeah, he is. He's one of the best out there for sure. And number one, he's just, as you said, he's just a great man and someone that you want to emulate. He's a great family man. He's all about the right stuff with the team, really cares about having relationships with his players and their development on and off the court. So I think that's really the main thing as far as like what I took from him in coaching is having that similar approach. And honestly, a lot of what I've done, especially at a younger age, I was just trying to emulate him on the court or with the guys. And I think a lot of coaches try to emulate their mentors in a way, and he definitely was that for me. And I think the main thing for him and the Richmond program and who he is, the one word I would say is consistency. I think his approach to what they work on, the day to day, how they communicate with the players is really, really consistent. And that's something that I've taken with me at all my stops. And that's going to be a huge part of our program at Columbia is that consistency and simplifying what we work on, how we communicate with the guys. And I think that'll give them the best chance to thrive and become the best versions of themselves within our program.
You're talking to me from San Francisco, where the Gators, your Florida Gators, you're on staff still on this magical run, 32-4 year, taking on Maryland on Thursday night. When you look at the types of habits and the consistency that you've built with that team, from Walter Clayton to Elijah Martin to Will Richard on down, what's it been like to build things up to get Florida to this point on Coach Golden's staff that you'll take away the most from your time in Gainesville that you want to apply when you get to New York?
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing. We've taken it everywhere we've been, from Columbia to San Francisco. I obviously had to stop back at Richmond and then Florida. And it's getting the right people on the bus. And we said all the time, great attitudes, great work ethics, and guys that really, really want to be there and take pride. And I mentioned before at Columbia, but that's really what we've done. And we've done the same thing at Florida. The guys on this team, it's a true team. They're great guys. They love each other. They're awesome to be around every day. Obviously, they're extremely talented basketball players as well. But I just think the reason that this team has done so well is because of their attitudes, our unselfishness, their ability to put the team first. All those things are evident when people watch us play. I think you can see those attributes, and that's what we're going to try to do the same thing at Columbia. And it's a little smaller scale, but it's the same formula, and I know it works. I believe in it, and I'm going to be pretty committed to it.
Hey, all those formulas are great, but the smartest thing you did was marry a Columbia alum.
No question. No question. Absolutely.
What's your message to New York City and the Columbia community?
It's just, well, first off, it's my excitement for being there. As I am able to get going, when I do get up there permanently, I hope they'll feel my excitement and how much I love the place, how good I think it can be. Obviously, New York City basketball, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. It's the best. It's a place that really cares about basketball, and that's why I think the upside's so high at Columbia because I think if you can get it going and build a consistent winner there. I think people will take notice of it. Obviously, even the attendance at the games can be great, and it's just awesome to be a part of New York City basketball. There's no other way to put it.
Nothing like a Friday or Saturday night in Levy and Gym when it gets packed and it's rolling and it's the intensity, it's the high level coaching and players
No
in the
question.
Ivy League and beyond. And Kevin, congratulations to you. Can't wait to see you in the metropolitan area and at Columbia University. And good luck the rest of the way to the Gators and the big dance. But congrats and thanks so much for the time.